Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shri Shraddha Gopinath Bhagwan ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki Jai. Shri Gauranitai ki Jai. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Sri Caitanya Caritamrta ki Jai. Samaveda Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Jai Nittai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna. We welcome you all after a long break for almost whole of or half of December and whole of January. We welcome you all to resume our Sri Caitanya Caritamrta study. Just a quick announcement. On 14th of February, we are going to celebrate the first big festival for this year, Nityananda Trayodasi, the Divine Appearance Day of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. So on that day we'll have festival class at 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Gaurarati, 7:30 we'll have Abhishek, and at 9:15 we'll have Maharati. Mahaprasad feast will be served from 5 p.m. onwards. So this is on 14th of February, Monday. Those of you who wish to participate by sponsoring different items, you can do so. The information is available in our WhatsApp group, Facebook group, website, everywhere. So there are many items available which you can choose to make an offering on for the pleasure of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So if you see Caitanya Caritamrta, Chaitanya Mangal, Chaitanya Bhagavat, there are many verses that actually says that Lord Nityananda says, if we want to receive his favor, then we should serve Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Similarly, there are verses where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, whoever wants to receive his favor, which is Lord Chaitanya's favor, should serve Nityananda Prabhu. So Nityananda Trayodasi is a wonderful opportunity for all of us to serve Lord Nityananda Prabhu and gain the favor of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And for those who receive or who want to receive mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, wait for another month. Gaura Purnima is coming. Then you can serve Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and get the favor of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So that's how it works between the two transcendental brothers. So information is available online as well as in our temple display. So please take advantage of this opportunity. Continuing from where Ishwar Prabhu finished last week. So we are in Sri Caitanya Caritamrta, Madhya Leela, chapter 23. Life's ultimate goal. So if you recollect, in one of our early classes we were discussing how the process of Krishna consciousness is divided into 3 stages: Sambandha, Abhidheya and Prayojana. Sambandha means that's the stage wherein we establish our relationship with the Supreme Lord. We understand who we are, we understand who Supreme Lord is, and we establish a certain relationship that way. Abhidheya is, after you establish this relationship, Abhidheya is the process. That's when we practice devotional service. Navvidha Bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, all of that. So that is Abhidheya. So after establishing a relationship, if we then perform the process, then what we'll attain is prayojana, or life's ultimate goal. So this chapter is about life's ultimate goal. So this is about prayojana. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, these series of chapters, until end of Madhya Lila, you will see or most of the Madhya Lila, the section where we are discussing, you will see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction to Sanatana Goswami about how bhakti is supposed to be performed. And in this particular chapter, he has come to the 8th and 9th stage of bhakti, which is Bhava and Prema. So in this chapter that's titled Life's Ultimate Goal, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to go through the details of Bhava Bhakti and Prema Bhakti. So if you remember Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion, we study Samanya Bhakti, Sadhana Bhakti or Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti and Prema Bhakti. So this particular chapter, Madhya Lila chapter 23, discusses about Bhava Bhakti and Prema Bhakti in detail. And just like how when we practice bhakti, we say it has 9 different stages. This 9 is very significant. It comes for Navida Bhakti also, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. It comes for 9 islands. It comes for 9 stages of bhakti. Adav Shraddha, Tatav, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishta Ruchi, Ashakti, Bhava, Prema. But then, when you come to Bhava and Prema, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains to Sanatana Goswami, Bhava Bhakti also has got 9 different symptoms. And so is Prema Bhakti. Prema Bhakti also has got 9 different symptoms. So this particular chapter, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to go through the detail of each one of those stages of Bhava Bhakti as well as Prema Bhakti. Now before he starts, first of all he lists the 9 different processes of bhakti. Shraddha, the first step when we develop some faith in this process of Krishna consciousness, faith towards Krishna. Then Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha. Then next stage is we develop little faith and we go and associate with the devotees. And because of that association, all of us, whether we recognize the process, the stage that we went through or we are still in, as being attributed to association, still you can actually realize later on, you may not actually realize straight away, how did I become Krishna Bhakta? Or how did I start to practice Krishna consciousness? At some point of time, whether you realize or not, Sadhu Sangha has its role. Whether you knowingly or unknowingly, we might have associated with someone. And that can even be, how long is that supposed to be? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha. Even a momentary association is enough. Like Mrigari, he takes not long association from Narada Muni. And you will see many instances, like even if you take Vibhishan. Vibhishan takes very little association from Hanuman. And then he becomes one of the greatest devotees of Lord Ram. When Hanuman actually visits Lanka, he meets Vibhishan. Likewise, you will see many instances where devotees, they somehow or other come across association of devotees, and by virtue of which the seed of Shraddha, the Bhakti Lata Bija, it starts to germinate from within one's heart and it slowly starts to sprout out. Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya. So in the association of devotees, we then practice Bhajana, Krishna consciousness, chanting the holy name of Krishna. Anartha Nivritti. When we keep doing this, then we will be able to cleanse our heart. Prabhupada says, often, this is, you will see Prabhupada quoting this verse, Esham tu antagatam papam, jananam punya karmanam, te dvandva moha nirmukta, bhajante mam dridavrata. Prabhupada says, quoting Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, unless and until one is done and dusted with any sinful activities, sinful reactions, which they actually carry, sinful propensities, one can never practice bhakti. When this question was put forth to Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada by his disciples, saying, Prabhupada, but we were so sinful, even now we are very sinful. How did we come to practice Krishna consciousness? Prabhupada says, I gave you the Shukruti. Yes, it is true that you didn't work for it, But we are able to practice Krishna consciousness because according to rule book, according to Krishna himself, we cannot practice bhakti unless we totally stop committing any sinful activity. But in this material world, even by breathing in, we kill so many living entities. What to speak of, being completely pure? Mere existence causes pain for other living entities. Prabhupada says, Jivo Jiva se Jivanam. We live, we subsist on plants, but by killing plants, there is some pain involved. Of course, we offer it to Krishna and take still. So, to come to this totally sinless state is impossible. However, because of association of devotees, because of mercy of devotees, we are able to practice bhakti now. Anartha nivritti, nishta. Nishta is when we get steady. Now, this particular stage of bhakti, wherein we get rid of all the impurities in our heart, or we are in the process, especially as we are practicing Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, these two stages are important. Most of our life, if not all, hopefully not all, will go in just these two stages. In Anartha Nivritti and Nishta. So these two stages are important because, as I said, most of our life will be spent in these two stages only. In counteracting sinful activities, in counteracting sinful propensities, it can be gross, subtle, doesn't matter. And then Nishta, to maintain a certain steadiness. Extremely hard. That's why of the three processes or three functions or three gunavatars, if you take, Vishnu is in charge for mode of goodness. Because maintenance comes under mode of goodness. Maintenance is extremely hard. In fact, only the Supreme Lord can do. Nobody else can do. So maintaining consistency, it's extremely hard. So almost all our life we'll spend just in these two stages, to get rid of all the impurities and to maintain steadiness. Now, if we manage to do this, which is considered to be an uphill task, literally, it's like a climbing on top of a hill. Once you go to that stage, from that point onwards, Ruchi, Ashakti, Bhava, Prema is like a downhill. And all of us have this experience when we pedal a bike on an upslope. As we pedal, if at all there is a downslope there that is awaiting us, we'll feel more inspired. How many of you have that experience? You pedal it very hard and you know this is very hard. Still, you would muster as much enthusiasm as you can because you know what awaits after some time is joy, sheer joy of the bike going in full speed without you having to pedal. So in our bhakti also, the first 5 stages are like a climbing on top of a hill. It's difficult, extremely difficult, especially the last 2. I remember going to one South Indian temple, Parani, one of the 6 main temples of Lord Kartikeya. I remember in my childhood, my parents took me. There are different ways how you can go to the top of the hill. One way is by climbing hundreds of steps. So I had a bet with my friend who would actually go to the top of the hill without stopping even in any of the stairs. And it's like 100, close to 1,000 stairs without stopping. I bet him, but it took me like maybe half an hour to climb up, but it took me another 2 hours to recover. After you reach, couldn't breathe freely. Took me a lot of time. So bhakti is unlike this material experience. Bhakti, the process itself is joyful, as Locham Das Thakur sings, Keval Ananda Kanda. So you practice bhakti, yes, even though it's an uphill task, but we know what's awaiting us is immortality. What's awaiting us when we go past the peak of the mountain is sheer joy, where we can reap the benefit of all the pain we went through in the first 5 stages of bhakti. That's why patience, utsahan, enthusiasm, nischaya, dhairya, determinations, patience, determination, patience, everything is needed. Because it will all of these qualities will be put to test. That's what it means. If Rupa Goswami says we need to have it, means we will have some serious doubts. So that's why we need to be in association of devotees always. So if we go past these 5 stages, then Ruchi, you get taste, Ashakti, you get more attachment, Bhava, preliminary stage of ecstatic love of Godhead. Prema is the ecstatic love of Godhead. So this is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first explains the 9 different stages. And then he goes deeper. Then he goes directly to Bhava Bhakti. So today we are going to discuss about the 9 stages of Bhava Bhakti. And then we'll see if we can make a start on Prema Bhakti. Otherwise we'll continue tomorrow. So for this week we'll have the class every evening. Because our schedule has become a little uncertain with the services, we have to actually shuffle ourselves around. So I'll take it week by week. So for this week, there will be class every evening, starting at 7:30. We'll see, we'll go till 8:15, 8:20. So today, we are in Madhya Lila, Sri Caitanya Caritamrta, Madhya Lila, chapter 23, verse 18 and 19, 18 to 19. So in this verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lists the 9 different qualities, symptoms of Bhava Bhakti. So this is Madhya Lila, chapter 23, verse 18 and 19. Shantir avyartha kalatvam viraktir manasunyata ashabandha samutkanta namagane sada ruchihi asaktischat gunakyane prithistad vasati stale. These are the 9 different stages. We'll go one after the other. Iti adayo anubhavasyur jata bhavanu jane. Translation: when the seed of ecstatic emotion for Krishna fructifies, the following 9 symptoms manifest in one's behavior. Forgiveness, that's Shanti. Concern that time should not be wasted, that's Avyartha Kalatvam. You will see many conversations, many morning walks where Prabhupada emphasizes on this point, Avyartha Kalatvam. Prabhupada would say materialists think that if they gain little bit extra rest, that's a great achievement. Tomorrow is weekend, so we can sleep more. That tendency comes. But Prabhupada says, somebody in Bhava stage, Bhava Bhakti means they would be looking for each and every opportunity to expand on the devotional service of the Supreme Lord. So that's what Avyartha Kalatvam means. Virakti, Virakti is detachment. Manashunyata, absence of false prestige. Ashabandha, hope. We'll come to that later. Samutkanta is eagerness. Namagane sada ruchihi, a taste for chanting the holy name of the Lord. Ashaktis tad gunakyane, attachment to descriptions of the transcendental qualities of the Lord. Then prithistad vasati stale, affection for those places where the Lord resides. That is a temple or a holy place like Vrindavana. These are called anubhava, subordinate signs of ecstatic emotion. They are visible in a person in whose heart the seed of love of Godhead has begun to fructify. If we want to know who is in Bhava Bhakti platform, then these 9 symptoms become visible. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying. I'll go through this again. Forgiveness, which means they'll be very readily forgiving. They won't take anything personal. Concern that the time should not be wasted. They'll always spend every second in the service of the Supreme Lord. Detachment. They won't get allured by anything material. That's what detachment here refers to. Absence of false prestige. Needless to say. Hope. Tattenukampam susamikshamano. They are very hopeful that Krishna will surely give us mercy. Eagerness. They are always enthusiastic for doing devotional service. A taste for chanting the holy name of the Lord. Attachment to descriptions of the transcendental qualities of the Lord, and affection for those places where Lord performs pastimes, like temple and holy dham. So these are the 9 symptoms of somebody in Bhava Bhakti, which we can see visibly. Now, after listing these 9 qualities, symptoms, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what he does is, he mentions each quality and then he'll quote a verse. And he'll follow similar pattern for next stage also. So now we are going to go through each quality, and to support that, he'll give an example from Bhagavatam. Okay, so text 20. If love of Krishna in a seedling state has fructified in one's heart, one is not agitated by material things. So this is Shanti or forgiveness. And as an example to this, he gives the scenario or the scene when Parikshit Maharaj, after being cursed to be killed by Takshaka bird, in a week, he actually goes to the banks of Mother Ganga. But Prabhupada actually quotes Shastras, even Jiva Goswami and Prabhupada says, actually Parikshit Maharaj went to the bank of Yamuna because it's close to Hastinapur. Prabhupada says in one place. Nevertheless, here he says, "O Brahmanas, just accept me as a completely surrendered soul and let Mother Ganges, the representative of the Lord, also accept me in that way. For I have already taken the lotus feet of the Lord into my heart. Let the snake bird or whatever magical thing the Brahmana created bite me at once." Which means he is already forgiven. He knows that Takshaka bird is going to bite him. But look at his attitude. First is, but he is not bothered. Radhanath Maharaj says, pure devotee means they forgive the offense of the perpetrator even before the offense is completed. That is pure devotee. Very high standard. We take notes also. You did this to me, I will come back to you next week. But pure devotee means one who forgives somebody else's offense even before the offense is completed. So here we see Parikshit Maharaj, he is demonstrating that quality. He is saying, let the snake bird or whatever magical thing the Shringi Brahmana is going to create, let it bite me. I am not bothered. I am taking shelter of the Supreme Lord. He has already forgiven, he has moved on. Prabhupada says, Parikshit Maharaj was so powerful, he could have counter-cursed. He could have even gone through atonement, or he could have even counteracted the curse completely. But he chose not to, because he took it that this is the plan of the Supreme Lord. Same Supreme Lord protected him when he was in the womb of his mother, Uttara. So same Lord, if he wanted to protect, he will protect. In this case, if the Supreme Lord is not going to protect externally, then it means that is the will of the Lord. So understanding that, he just took it in that humble way. So here he is saying, let the snake bird or whatever magical thing the Brahmana created bite me at once. I only desire that you all continue singing the deeds of Lord Vishnu. So here he has forgiven already, even before the offense is going to get committed. Of course, his son, if you see Janamejaya, he takes offense. How can this bird kill my father like this? So then he performs this big yagya, and he wanted to wipe out the race of the entire race of serpents rather. And just when as the oblation mantra was recited and oblation was actually offered in the sacrificial fire, all the snakes, they were getting sucked into the fire. So, and then at that time, he then, being requested by the Brahmanas, he then let go. That it's not fair to kill the entire race of snakes or serpents just for the fault of one. But here if you see the mood of Parikshit Maharaj. Of course, Janamejaya is also a great devotee. So one's mood, Prabhupada says, is one can accept whatever offense others may actually do. But one should not tolerate offense to Krishna or other Vaishnavas. So here Janamejaya is not taking anything for him. His point is, my father is a great devotee. How can you do this? So he is trying to counteract there. Okay, so here Shanti or forgiveness is demonstrated by Parikshit Maharaj. Avyartha kalatvam, not a moment, text 22, not a moment should be lost. Every moment should be utilized for Krishna or connected with him. Prabhupada says in the purport, Parikshit's expression of anxiety is explained in this verse. He says, let whatever is destined to happen take place. It doesn't matter. Just let me see that not a moment of my time is wasted without a relationship with Krishna. One has to tolerate all obstacles on the path of Krishna consciousness, and one has to see that not a moment of his life is wasted outside of Krishna service. So many times we will get disturbance. Material world, welcome. There will be disturbance. But if we learn to get busy in practice of Krishna consciousness, then no amount of disturbance can impede our progress. No amount of disturbance can distract us from our focus in serving Sri Sri Radha Gopinath. Bahu shakahi anantascha. But if our mind is going here, there, then yes, there are plenty of opportunities to get distracted. So here we have to take that lesson from Parikshit Maharaj, how even after he is cursed, even after he knew that all he has got in his life is just 7 more days, his only focus is, let not a moment be wasted without serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Prabhupada, he says here, with their words, they offer prayers to the Lord. With their minds, they always remember the Lord. With their bodies, they offer obeisances to the Lord. Despite all these activities, they are still not satisfied. This is the nature of the pure devotees. Shedding tears from their eyes, they dedicate their whole lives to the Lord's service. So this is the verse that's given as an example of pure devotees who are demonstrating the symptom of avyartha kalatvam, not wasting even a single moment. Then text 24, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then proceeds to the next symptom, virakti. In material field, people are interested in material enjoyment, mystic power and sense gratification. But these things do not appeal to the devotee at all. And to support this point, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quotes the verse glorifying Bharat Maharaj. How Bharat Maharaj, even though he ruled the planet for millions of years, he had everything at his beck and call. Still, he just gave up everything. Beautiful wife, beautiful kids, very obedient citizens, loving citizens, incalculable wealth, everything. He let them go and he moved to the forest. And to explain that, an analogy is given. How did he do that? He did it just like someone after passing stool in a field will walk away. They won't get attached to it. So that's the example that's given. Yo distajan darasutan shuhrudrajam hridisprisa jaho yuheva malavad uttama shloka lalasa. King Bharata was very eager to attain the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna, who is called Uttama Shloka, because poems and prayers are offered to him for his favor. In his youth, King Bharata gave up his attractive wife and children as well as his beloved friends and opulent kingdom, just as one gives up stool after passing it. So this is virakti. Virakti means a pure devotee in Bhava stage knew that no matter how much promising it looks, it's not that Bharat Maharaj was surrounded by enemies. Bharat Maharaj was surrounded by people with demoniac tendency who stopped him from performing bhakti. Absolutely not. Bharat Maharaj had obedient citizens who were all devotees. Bharat Maharaj had a very favorable family. Still, he came to a stage wherein he had to actually take the next stage of life in a proper Varnashrama system. As a king, he has to do. He has to set the example. Even though he could have practiced, he was already in Bhava Bhakti platform. He can just stay in home and continue with Prema also. But he did that to set a proper example. Radhanath Maharaj, he says in one Bhagavatam class that everyone, be it a brahmachari or a grahastha, everyone at some point of time need to take up full-time devotional service. Like somebody who is a brahmachari, they don't have any family commitments. So they can afford to spend all their time in service of Krishna, direct service of Krishna. Whereas somebody may have some family duties, or some work commitments somebody has to follow. Somebody has to work X amount of hours every week. Plus there may be other family duties. But still, Maharaj says, when somebody comes to 50 years or 60 years, even post-retirement from job, then there is no impediment. One can easily take a full-time devotional service. You can still stay in home, but you can still do full-time devotional service. So, the details can be adjusted, but the principle is one has to come to the stage of performing full-time bhakti. Full-time means all the time. Now, does bhakti depend on how much time we spend? Yes and no. Same reason. Why do we chant 16 rounds? Why are we told Kirtanya Sadahari? Is it not enough to just chant one holy name purely? Isn't that what we learn from Ajamila's pastime? Isn't that what we learn from Janaka Maharaja's pastime when he goes to Yamaloka? So everywhere we see. But still, Prabhupada says our process is based on numerical strength. To chant one holy name purely, pure enough for us to gain the attention of the Supreme Lord, we have to practice chanting the holy name for so many other times. Just like how a cricketer or a tennis player would hit tens of thousands of balls until they become expert in hitting the same ball. So same way, or a golf player. So same way, we have to keep on chanting the holy name of the Lord to come to the stage of chanting the holy name pure enough so that by chanting that one holy name purely, we will attract the attention of the Supreme Lord. So that's the idea. Okay, so quality matters, quantity matters. In fact, we gain quality by increasing the quantity. Correct? The more a cricketer hits a ball in the nets, more quality of hitting also improves. Or if you practice mridanga, more you actually keep on hitting the big head and the small head. Or if you are a harmonium singer, or if you are a cleaner, you are a speaker, you are a cook, anything, more time you spend, most likely quality will also increase. So both are mattering here. One is quality and the second is quantity. Okay, so we all should aim to increase our bhakti in every sense. Quality as well as quantity. So that's the third quality. Here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lists. Fourth is Manashunyata. Although a pure devotee, Manashunyata means one is not expecting any respect. One has given up one's prestige. One is very, very humble. Although a pure devotee's standard is above all, he still considers himself to be in the lowest stage of bhakti, lowest stage of life. Bharat Maharaj always carried affection for Krishna within his heart. Although Bharat Maharaj was the crown jewel of kings, he was still wandering about and begging alms in the city of his enemies, mind you. He is not going and begging food from people he knew. But as part of his vrata, he goes away, giving up everyone, family, friends, opulent kingdom, citizens, everything, and he is going to a place where Bharat Maharaj always carried affection for Krishna within his heart. Although Bharat Maharaj was the crown jewel of kings, he was still wandering about and begging alms in the city of his enemies. Underline. He was even offering respects to Chandalas, low-class men who eat dogs. Manashunyata. One is ready to offer respects to everyone. How was he able to do that? Because he was carrying affection for Krishna in his heart, and all he had in his heart was love and love only, nothing else. There was no hatred, not for people who are lower than him, not for people who were his enemies, not for anyone. All he had was just pure love for Krishna, and that he was simply expressing for everyone. Text 28. So this is about Ashabandha. A fully surrendered devotee always hopes that Lord Krishna will be kind to him. This hope is very firm in him. So alone, a devotee doesn't think he or she is capable of doing anything. However, a devotee is also at the same time very hopeful that if I keep on trying, Krishna will definitely give me mercy. There is no ifs and buts when it comes to worshipping Krishna. When it comes to Krishna reciprocating with anyone else. Krishna will always reciprocate with devotee to the extent that devotee is taking his shelter. Ye tamam prapadyante. So, As long as we do our sadhana bhakti properly, we can be very hopeful. Not overconfident. We can be very hopeful that by mercy, Krishna will give me mercy someday. Yes, I am fallen. Yes, I may fumble. I may slip. I may fall down. Doesn't matter. As long as I keep trying, keep on trying, at some stage, Krishna will give me mercy. So that hope is there. So a person in Bhava Bhakti will have that hope. Oh my Lord, I do not have any love for you, nor am I qualified for discharging devotional service by chanting and hearing. Nor do I possess the mystic power of a Vaishnava, knowledge or pious activities, nor do I belong to a very high caste family. On the whole, I do not possess anything. Sounds familiar? Good prayer for us to follow. When we go, nothing we have. You look at the prayer. Of course, here pure devotees are offering that, but in our case, genuinely, this is the case. I'll read this again. Moment of truth. Oh my Lord, I do not have any love for you. Correct? Nor am I qualified for discharging devotional service by chanting and hearing. Agree? Nor do I possess the mystic power of a Vaishnava, knowledge or pious activities. Nor do I belong to a very high caste family. Now, materialistically speaking, if you say this to someone, first question they'll ask is, then why are you here? Correct? What makes you think you still deserve mercy? Get lost. But Krishna won't say that. Okay, Krishna is Dinanath. Krishna is Dinabandhu. One who is got nothing. So Krishna's name is Dinabandhu. Or Dinanath means the Lord of one who has nothing. That's what it means. So by definition, Krishna will give us mercy. If we simply follow the path of sadhana bhakti as given by Srila Prabhupada. Okay. So I do not have any love for you, nor am I qualified for discharging devotional service by chanting and hearing. Nor do I possess the mystic power of a Vaishnava, knowledge or pious activities. Nor do I belong to a very high caste family. On the whole, I do not possess anything. Still, O beloved of the gopis, because you bestow your mercy on the most fallen, I have an unbreakable hope that is constantly in my heart. That hope is always giving me pain. It's actually not giving pain, it's giving pleasure, but a devotee in Bhava stage, they are saying, pain here refers to pain of separation from the Supreme Lord. Sometimes, I remember, in my high school, I had a very unique quality. Either I'll be in top 3 in my class or I will fail my exam. I'm not joking. Seriously. Every time I come back home with my results, my mother used to scold me. She used to tell me, either you fail all the time, or you do properly. You always raise the expectation, and just when we are expecting good result, you let us down. I didn't plan like that, but it was like that. Okay, so here he is saying that hope is always giving me pain. So the devotee in Bhava Bhakti, they are thinking, my Lord, I have nothing, still you will give me your darshan, still you will give me mercy. But I am so fallen, I still hold on to that hope, and that hope is giving me excitement that I will get it. The reason for pain is I still haven't seen you. That anxiety is there. So it's not a hopeless case, not in that sense. The pain here refers to pain of separation. Text 30. Samutkanta. This eagerness, Samutkanta means eagerness. This eagerness is chiefly characterized by an ardent desire to associate with the Lord. So eagerness here refers to, Samutkanta means eager to associate with the Lord. O Krishna, O flute player, the sweetness of your early age is wonderful within these 3 worlds. You know my unsteadiness and I know yours. No one else knows about this. I want to see your beautiful, attractive face somewhere in a solitary place. But how can this be accomplished? So here the devotee becomes eager to associate with the Lord, eager to be with the Lord. Text 32, Namagane Sadaruchihi. Due to having great relish for the holy name, one is inclined to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra constantly. So this is the 7th symptom of somebody in Bhava Bhakti platform. O Govinda, this youthful girl named Radhika is today constantly pouring forth tears like nectar, pouring forth tears like nectar falling from flowers as she sings your holy names in a sweet voice. Text 34, Ashaktistat Gunakyane. At this stage of Bhava, a devotee has awakened the tendency to chant and describe the transcendental qualities of the Lord. He has attachment for this process. So this is the 8th stage wherein one want to constantly keep on glorifying, hearing about the glories of the Supreme Lord. That's a verse, Iti Nandadeo Gopa Kurvantorama Manascha Navindan Bhava Vedanam. It's given. So what it means is that simply by talking about Krishna among the elderly Gopas, including obviously Nanda Maharaj, Navindan Bhava Vedanam, they completely forgot about the pangs of the material miseries and all they had was just enjoyment always. How did they attain that? Krishna Rama Katam Muda. Iti Nandadeyo Gopa Krishna Rama Katam Muda. It's given. Kurvanto Rama Manascha Navindan Bhava Vedanam. So, simply by glorifying about the qualities of Krishna Rama Katha. Katha is pastimes of the Lord. Pastimes of who? Krishna Rama Katam Muda. Kurvanto Ramamanascha. Ramamana here refers to simply by glorifying about the pastimes of Krishna and Rama. Kurvanto Ramamanascha. They all attained bliss. Rama, Ramamana, Ramante, Yogino Anante. Prabhupada would often quote that verse. Because the Supreme Lord simply by remembering Him brings joy in one's heart. How much joy? Ramanto Yogine Anante. Anante means unlimited joy. Because simply remembering the Supreme Lord brings unlimited joy in one's heart, Supreme Lord is also called as Rama. So this is definition of that's given for Rama. Okay, so here, Iti Nandadeya Gopa, Krishna Rama Katamuda Kurvanto Ramamanascha. Simply by discussing about Katha, Krishna Katha, Krishna Balaram Katha, that's what it means. Krishna Rama here refers to Balaram. So Krishna Balaram's Katha, Kurvanto Ramamanascha, Navindan Bhava Vedanam. Vedanam means pain, pangs, misery. Navindan means they completely surpassed it. They completely became immune to that. That's what it means. So here somebody in Bhava stage, at this stage of Bhava, a devotee has awakened the tendency to chant and describe the transcendental qualities of the Lord. He has attachment for this process. Oh my Lord, the transcendental body of Krishna is very sweet and his face is even sweeter than his body. But a soft smile which has the fragrance of honey is sweeter still. So this is from Bilvamangal Thakur's Krishna Caritamrta. And finally, it is the 9th symptom. Preetis tad vasati stale. A devotee absorbed in ecstatic emotion for Krishna always resides in a place where Krishna's pastimes were performed. Also known as temples and dhams. O Lord Pundarikaksha, while chanting your holy name with tears in my eyes, when shall I dance in ecstasy on the bank of Yamuna? Okay, so in this way, Caitanya Mahaprabhu, he describes about the 9 symptoms of somebody in Bhava platform. Now, even though we haven't actually gone past the stage of even Anartha Nivritti, still we can try qualities which are demonstrated by devotees in Bhava Bhakti. We can try to cultivate some of them, which is easy to do. Like chanting Hare Krishna 24/7. It's not easy. Okay, 24/7 is hard. Okay, do 2/7 at least. 3/7. Little bit we can do. Avyartha Kalatvam. Yes, to do everything related to Krishna 24/7 is maybe difficult. It is difficult. Okay, let us try at least an hour to do service for Krishna every day. At least once every 2 days. Once in a week. Somewhere we have to start. So likewise, Mana Shunyata, Samutkanta, each one of them, those qualities. We can try to cultivate, develop some eagerness, have some humility, Kshanti, forgiveness. Nama gane sada ruchi. Keep chanting the holy name of the Lord, so on and so forth. In this way, if we keep performing bhakti, at least to whatever little extent we can, gradually we'll come to a stage when everything adds up and we'll come to a stage suddenly to practice Bhava Bhakti. But let us understand our position in this material world, especially until we attain perfection. Almost all of our life will be spent in the fourth and the fifth stage, Anartha Nivritti and Nishta. But we can still look for these qualities in other levels and try to have some taste, try to cultivate it, try to develop some eagerness for all of them. So then gradually we'll come to a stage wherein simply by at least trying, we'll come to a stage. Prabhupada would say imitation of something great is good, but not imitation as in illegitimate imitation. Like Prabhupada would say, people take intoxicants, citing Lord Shiva takes intoxicants. But Shiva takes Kalakut Vesha also. He also takes poison. Same way, we have to follow in the footsteps. However, if simply by following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas, understanding about how the Goswamis, they spent 22, 23, 24 hours a day simply in serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we can try to do a little bit, 1 hour, 2 hour, half an hour, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something. And if we keep doing it, following in their footsteps, gradually, we will develop some taste. Gradually, we will get rid of all the sinful propensities. Esham tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvandva mohad nirmukta bhajante mam dridavrata. Who can practice bhakti with full determination? Krishna says, bhajante mam dridavrata. Esham tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmana te dvandva mohad nirmukta. One who is done and dusted with all their sinful activities, one who is raised his consciousness above dvandva moha, the illusion of duality in this world. Such a person, bhajante mam dridavrata, such a person can perform bhakti with full determination. So let's meditate on these qualities and then we'll discuss the symptoms. There are 9 symptoms that are given for Prema Bhakti as well. Any questions or comments?
The question that came to me was, you said that most of our life is spent in Nishta. So if we oscillate, having reached the stage of Nishta, if we oscillate in this present life, then what will be the result in the next life? How would Shraddha see come to faith?
We asked this question to, so the question is, what if we die? We are practicing sincerely and we are still in Nishta. We haven't come to, Bhava Prema stage. What will happen? We were fortunate to attend Bhakti Shastri course in Mayapur Institute in Mayapur, and we were even more fortunate to have His Holiness Caitanya Maharaj. He gave us classes on Nectar of Devotion. So when we asked this question to him, he said, Prabhupada said, if we simply follow 4 regulative principles and do devotional service as much as you can, then we will get prema. Now, Maharaj said, now when we exactly get prema, that's between Prabhupada and Krishna. We may be in Nishta stage at the time of our soul quitting the body, but in one fraction of a second, Krishna can accelerate us through the other 4 stages, Maharaj said. So in a moment, he can actually give us prema. Till 5 you did, Krishna will carry what we lack, he can take us to 9th stage straight away. So that faith is there. So if we have that faith and we try to do our best, beyond that we leave it to Krishna. And if you recollect, we were discussing even in Nectar of Devotion where Kapila Dev, he says how his devotees are all they are after, all they are worried about is performing devotional service. They are so busy doing devotional service, they forget about liberation totally. They don't even worry about getting liberated because they feel all ecstasy in this world. So, same way, let our aspiration, let our endeavor be to perform the best quality devotional service possible with all our might. What stage we are in, where do we qualify, we don't need to bother. That mercy, Gopinath will give. That mercy, Panchatattva, they will give. That mercy, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, Prabhupada will give us. But with whatever we have at our disposal, we should offer it. Unless we offer it fully, then we can't expect mercy, unprecedented mercy. But if we offer whatever we can, then yes, like Jatayu. Jatayu wasn't known for to be a devotee with runaway success. It's not like that. He failed in the mission in one sense, but he still attained the perfection. Lord Ram accepted the attempt of Jatayu. It's the same way, as long as we try, as long as we don't make voluntarily wrong choices to go away from Gopinath, then we are guaranteed to go back to spiritual world. Whether one life, two life, whether I get Krishna Prema when I am 40, 50, 60 or at the moment of death, it doesn't matter. Krishna can give us Prema in a second. Okay?
Speaking of Prabhupada, as you were talking about earlier, what stage of devotional service was he in? There was a point that I was reading somewhere.
Prema. So Prabhupada is a pure devotee. Pure devotees will always be in Krishna Prema platform only.
There was a point where people were spitting on him and yet still, it's just, psychologically speaking, it's very difficult to do.
Yeah, so you can see all these qualities demonstrated by Prabhupada also. All of them. Okay. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Shraddha Gopinath Bhagwan ki jai, Sri Caitanya Caritamrta ki jai, Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki jai, Shri Shri Gaur Anitai ki jai, Samaveda Gaur Bhakta Vranda ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Gopinath's devotees ki jai, devotees in Mayapur TV, YouTube and Facebook ki jai, Jai Nittai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bo, all glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.